I think that Kendrick made very smart moves, you know, and I don't think Drake would disagree.
He's kind of like Drake's favorite industry friend right now. Hell, he might be the last industry friend that Drake has.
Drake?
All right. We got Lil Yachty speaking on the Kendrick and Drake beef and why he feels like Drake didn't necessarily win or lose. Let's see what he had to say. Make sure you like the video and subscribe.
That Kendrick clearly had a lot more animosity, and you felt it in every song that he dropped. Because Drake dropped great records, but also let's be fair, Drake was deemed a loser in this battle before it started because people don't like him and haven't, and he's won for a very long time, and he's sat at the top of the throne, and still, honestly, respectfully, I think he still sits at the top of the throne. I think that even if opinionated masses would say that Kendrick won, I don't think that people are going to stop listening to Drake, and like Drake's career is going to like flush,
In like the art of a diss track, what do you think is more important? Like the hard hitting bars that are like, oh my god, this is really gonna affect his life and his like career or whatever, or the song that maybe has those but it gets the people going?
There's no rules. There's no rules, and it's not like the NCAA March Madness, where you have it's been the same way. Every rap battle has been scored and handled a little differently, and it's not officiated. This seems like the most officiated
For sure.
beef as far as like when it comes to like winner ish. But I said to Drake, I told him I feel like I don't feel like you won or lost. I don't feel like rappers have lost and then lost everything. like maybe not lost their money, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like it just was never looked at the same. I don't think that this has happened to Drake. I think Drake will still be in everyone's Wrapped Spotify at the end of the year, at the top. I think he could still drop hits and it will still hit Control the Summer. I think that Kendrick made very smart moves, and I don't think Drake would disagree.
Wow. See, that last part was big. He said, I think Kendrick made very smart moves, and I don't think Drake would disagree. And I thought about that too. I said, if Drake just puts all of the allegations aside, because obviously I feel like throughout the diss songs, what Kendrick said about Drake has stuck way more than what Drake said about Kendrick, right? As far as, him putting his hands on his girl. Everybody's going with the groomer thing with Drake, okay? But take that aside. I think Kendrick, my bad, I think Drake has to respect how Kendrick went about this beef. I think he has to respect that Kendrick won. I think he also has to say, I underestimated this guy. Because look, we are all singing Not Like Us right now. But Kendrick wasn't really battle tested. Kendrick, in his first real rap beef, came out like what? LeBron James, Michael Jordan, MVP his rookie year, Magic Johnson winning the trophy, talking about Magic is here. He won the championship on his first time out, which is the same thing that Drake did when he went against Meek Mill. And people were surprised when Drake handled Meek, just like I think a lot of purists or a lot of people who have paid attention to Kendrick Lamar and some of the moves that he made in the past when it came to Control and all of these times where it seemed like he was calling out different artists, especially Drake, and then he kind of disappeared. And that's what academics was pushing. All right, y'all hyping up Kendrick. After this, he's going to disappear for 2, 3, 4 years, right? But that's when we keep talking about Drake's ego and how he really didn't appreciate how much of a rapper that Kendrick truly is. Because you got to think about it, right? Everybody tries to say that Drake is pop. But Kendrick, even though, you know, he's had his times where he tries to make more eclectic music. I think To Pimp a Butterfly was his most kind of like creative, straying away from a lot of traditional rap song album that he put out. But still, overall, that nigga has always been a rapper. He goes to sleep a rapper. He wakes up as a rapper. He talks rap. He sleeps rap. He dresses rap. He's from a fucking city and a state that's all about the raps. It's going back to what Yachty said. Even coming into this beef, people already felt like Kendrick had the leg up just because he was the rap purist. It was still, like I said, a lot of people who wanted to see whether or not, you know, Kendrick will follow through. In the words of Drake, nah, nigga, this time you following through. And that nigga followed through and left his hand up like the jumper. Like on Love and Basketball when she kept the hand up. That nigga followed through. Hell, Kendrick whipped Drake ass so bad, I haven't listened to a Drake song since the beef. Like I'm talking about songs that's not diss records. I haven't listened to any Drake song since the beef. Kendrick damn near got me feeling bad to listen to Drake. And I see a lot of people, when Yachty says this, they're like, why can't people just say that Kendrick won? I think closer to the end, he basically did say, hey, Kendrick whooped your ass. He won. He said it in the soft way, the nice way. But I think he did give Kendrick his credit. But I think in the beginning, I think a lot of people will still overall want to hear Yachty say, Kendrick won. He beat Drake. Drake is the loser. And I think this is why a lot of West Coast dudes say they always trying to sneak diss us. They never want to give us our props. But listen, I'm the most fair nigga who is a Drake fan or a fan of Drake's music. I think out of every nigga on the internet who is a Drake fan, I have kept it the fairest. I have not been biased at all. Kendrick won. Like it's not even a discussion to me. And I told y'all, I feel like Kendrick won when Meet the Grams came out. The way he just shitted all over Drake's Family Matters and that release and coming out 20 minutes later, and the fact that he did it with just a fucking track, a song, in a photo. Shitted on Drake's whole high production value video. I mean, come on, you got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. And I just say that to say, you know, as a nigga from the East Coast, as a nigga who is a Drake fan, you know, I think a lot of people from the East Coast and even people like Joe Budden, who I know he enjoys Drake's music, we've been giving it up to the West Coast and Kendrick throughout this whole battle. So I just love to say, hey, everybody don't hate the West. Everybody ain't trying to sneak this the West. I can't speak for nobody else, but that's just me. Now, when it comes to Drake not being liked by people, I mean, sure, it is a population of people who have Drake fatigue. It started with the "We Miss the Old Drake" movement. Remember that? And I think you can start it right there, and that brings us right along to all the way to this beef, right? When Kendrick said, I like singing Drake. I don't like when he try to act tough. You know, that's what it morphed into. I miss the old Drake. Then it was, I don't like this new tough guy Drake. I don't like when Drake tries to be a gangster. Who does Drake think he is? He's soft. It almost kind of did a whole 360 back to when he first started, and people just looked at him as Lil Jimmy in the wheelchair. So yeah, it is a lot of people who just at this point naturally dislike Drake. Maybe they feel like he's commercial now. Maybe they feel like he's too pop. Obviously, Kendrick feels like he's a culture vulture. And that brings me to Yachty saying he felt like Kendrick had more of a gripe against Drake. I don't know, man. I think a lot of that was just performance and just a nigga knowing how to rap, knowing how to deliver bars. I think Kendrick really doesn't have a real issue with Drake. But if it's time for war, it's time for war. And he was going to go all out. Now, obviously, I don't think because of both of the things that both of these gentlemen said, I don't know if they'll ever be cool again. Because I was thinking about that too. I was like, is it a chance that they'll ever patch it up? I don't think so. I think those allegations was just too egregious. They can respect each other from their, own side of the country or own country because, Drake is in Canada, but I don't think they'll ever be cool. But I think Kendrick is such a good rapper, he can make us feel like he really hated Drake. But I don't think Kendrick is that type of person. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might disagree with some of the shit that Drake does. He might disagree with Drake's movement and the type of music that he makes. I think that might be true. But I look at Kendrick almost like an Andre 3000 type. You know what I mean? Real spiritual type. Always trying to do the right thing, even though, he had to step in the mud with this battle. I just don't see him being like the I hate Drake, he makes me so mad steaming type. I don't think that's Kendrick. I just think he's so good at what he does, he can make us think that he hated motherfucking rainbows if he wanted to. Because like I said, the nigga eats, sleeps, and drinks hip-hop and rap. And I think Joe Budden said it first. You can't out-culture Kendrick if you're Drake. So yeah, man, I think Yachty has some good points, but I will say this, man. Yachty is the guy who's helping Drake make a lot of this music. He's kind of like Drake's favorite industry friend right now. Hell, he might be the last industry friend that Drake has. He wasn't going to come on here and just shit on Drake, but I think he gave Kendrick his props in a very diplomatic way, all right? Let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Peace. Hey, nigga, donate. Hit the super chat. Scan the PayPal. Hit the Cash App. Thank you. Have a blessed day.